Friend, how are you doing today? My name is Jesse Briga. If you're new, this is More Than a Man. It's a project I created just to kind of mirror the work that I'm doing in my own personal life and in a way to bring you guys along for this journey. And I hope you can get something from it as we go along. You saw the title of today's video, friends. I want to make a video about why I'm starting this movement. And the biggest thing really that came with this decision was wanting to share the work that I've done in my own personal life. I ended up going to therapy about 2 years ago. Not quite 2 years, I think 2 years maybe in another month or two. But I've been going every week to start and now every other week as maintenance. And I continue to do this work. Who really pushed me to do this was actually my partner. Her and I got to a place where we just continue to go in these cycles. Women naturally, right? Men are more emotionally intelligent, just more often, right? I don't want to say all the time, just more often they are, right? They're going to pick up on things emotionally in our relationship that we are oblivious to. And if you have a really good, strong partner, someone who really cares about you, she will help you grow. And that's what my partner did for me. But it also took me to snap out of it, drop my ego, and go to therapy. And that's when I started this journey of diving inward, right? Exploring myself. I remember my very first session of therapy. And my goal, we had to set a goal. My goal was to just learn how to feel my feelings. I look back at it now from where I'm at and I could just see how sad that is. To have lived and continue to live and struggle. I struggle with this today. But to just live our life not knowing how to feel, right? Not knowing how to express our emotions. Not knowing how to connect to our feelings. That is what I went to therapy for. And what I really liked about what my therapist said is he's like, yeah, we could definitely do that. And if you find a really good therapist, it is such a really awesome partnership. And we'll talk about that in future videos. But what he said was, we're going to start with that. But what I tell clients is this is a ball of yarn. And we'll start with that end point. But because it's a jumbled up ball of yarn, whatever comes up as we go along, we'll take it, right? We'll dive into those things as well. And I didn't know what that meant. I know what that means now. But as I dove into myself, friends, trying to figure out how to feel my feelings, I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about the wounds that I carry, this weight, this pain. I came up with a morning process that then allows me to practice how to connect with myself. These are all things I look very much forward to sharing with you guys. But you see, all of that work that I was doing there, for a man, probably for a lot of people, let's be honest, a lot of people don't go to therapy, but especially for men, that's not the norm, right? Most of us are told our entire lives that we're fine the way we are. We're okay the way we are. We don't need to emotionally grow. And to be honest, as a man, we're not supposed to feel. We're supposed to provide. We're supposed to hold the strength, hold the courage for when shit hits the fan and to prevent shit from hitting the fan. That's what we do. That's why we're here. So I took that piece, right, of doing that work and trying to also get motivation from the current movements, right, like Andrew Tate, a lot of those motivational videos. Wes Watson's another one that comes to mind. And I couldn't fully connect to that. I just couldn't. My mindset did, but there's a part of me that continued to struggle in my relationships, which is my heart, my feelings. For me, friends, I want to take both pieces. I want to take the piece of that strong mindset that doesn't break, along with that vulnerability, that openness, that emotional intelligence, and allows you to really build a successful relationship, right? With those women, that woman that you care about in your life. That is why I created this movement. That is what this is. Because I see Andrew Tate, I see the Wes Watson mindsets. That's a man. I see that. I see the provider in that mindset. You can have your opinions of the people, but the value in that mindset, I see it. And then there's more. There's more. There's a whole side we're neglecting. I saw the same thing in my own father. He gave me the blueprint that those guys are giving me. And that one, it makes me fumble in relationships. And it makes me really neglect my own feelings. And that's what this movement is about, friends. That is why I started this channel. And again, I'm very happy that you're here because I'm excited for this. And we'll have a lot of videos coming out week by week, talking about it, opening up slowly, and we'll do this together.